Sleight of Mind, Educational Definitions and Examples by J. Claude McDaniel.
For the first time in years, Alex woke up without a court date looming. No depositions. No mediation summons. No angry emails waiting in his inbox. Just morning sunlight stretching across the floor, and silence that felt almost too big to bear. Who was he, now that the battle was behind him? Was he still a father? Still a protector? Still enough? The answer wasn't in the courthouse anymore. It was in the life he chose to rebuild, moment by moment, breath by breath. Mediation had ended. Court orders were signed. But the real work was just beginning. Alex understood now. Protecting your peace is not surrender. It's survival and freedom. What to do now? 1. Acknowledge the losses, then choose to heal. Alex gave himself permission to grieve. The birthdays missed. The conversations never had. The innocence stolen by lies and manipulation. He allowed the sadness, but he didn't let it drown him. Instead, he made a vow. I fought with everything I had. Now I owe myself the chance to heal. Grieving wasn't betrayal of hope. It was a declaration of new strength. 2. Reconnect with your identity outside the conflict. During the long war, Alex had forgotten who he was beyond a legal case number. Now he began reclaiming himself, picking up his guitar again, reconnecting with old friends who had stayed neutral. Hiking trails he once loved but had abandoned for endless court hearings. He was not just a targeted parent. He was a man with passions, dreams, and a life worth living fully. 3. Set boundaries that serve you, not the conflict. The narcissistic party still tried, occasionally, to pull him back into old dramas. But Alex had learned. All communication went through the parenting app, no exceptions. All emotional bait was ignored with calm indifference, the gray rock method in action. His peace was guarded like a fortress. He wasn't at war anymore, but he was still protecting something precious. Himself. 4. Seek ongoing emotional support. Alex didn't try to tough it out alone. He found a therapist who specialized in narcissistic abuse recovery, a support group of parents who understood the silent grief and the invisible battles, moments of mindfulness, small, sacred spaces where his spirit could breathe again. Healing wasn't linear, but it was real and it was his. 5. Stay open to future reconnection, but don't let it define you. Alex held space in his heart for his child, but he stopped waiting by the phone. He stopped living the shadow of maybe someday. Instead, he lived for today, loving his child quietly from afar, building a life filled with honesty, kindness, and patience, trusting that truth has a longer memory than lies ever will. Hope remained, but it no longer held him hostage. You survived what many could not. You fought for love without losing your integrity. You rebuilt not just a case, but a life. This is not the end of your story. It's the beginning of a future you chose, one built not on bitterness, but on strength, clarity, and unbreakable peace. Protect your heart. Protect your mind. Rebuild your future, not out of anger, but out of hope. You are not who the conflict tried to make you. You are who you decided to become, and that is everything. The ink was barely dry on the custody agreement before Alex realized something chilling. For him, the court's orders were the law. For his ex, they were merely suggestions to be bent, dodged, or broken whenever it served her narrative. Every scheduled exchange became a new battlefield. His child wasn't home at pickup time. School project or soccer games were suddenly mandatory, always during his weekends. Birthday parties, vacations, and special outings appeared exactly when Alex was supposed to have time with his child. It wasn't random. It wasn't accidental. It was deliberate erosion, slow enough to avoid immediate punishment, sharp enough to cut deep over time. In a high-conflict co-parenting situation, especially with a narcissist, custody orders aren't shields. They're targets. Alex learned the patterns the hard way. Ignoring scheduled visitation times. She's not feeling well, maybe next week. Scheduling competing activities. We're taking her to the water park this weekend. It's her favorite. She doesn't want to miss it. Using employment or teen activities. She's starting a part-time job. Her shifts just happen to fall on your days. Covert invitations to shared events. Even at his own daughter's birthday party, the ex found a way to become the emotional centerpiece, making Alex feel like a guest in moments that were supposed to heal old wounds. Alex remembered standing in his own backyard, holding a slice of cake, while his daughter clung to her mother, the woman who had spent years convincing her that Dad wasn't enough. The party was mine, but the loyalty had been bought and sold without my knowing. What can you do? Alex realized survival wasn't about fighting fire with fire. It was about outlasting the fire altogether. 1. Document every violation. Alex used his diary from Chapter 18 to track missed pickups, sudden schedule changes, emotional manipulation patterns. Each entry was time-stamped, factual, and emotion-free. 2. Don't take the bait. When his ex tried to provoke him into arguments, Alex refused. Every response was calm, brief, and professional. Please confirm pickup time for Saturday per the order. Nothing more, nothing less. 3. Communicate professionally and through approved channels. All conversations went through the court-approved parenting app. Every offer, denial, or lie was documented, preserved beyond dispute. No calls, no verbal promises, only proof. 4. Reinforce positive connection with your child. When he did get time with his daughter, even if shortened or awkward, Alex poured love into every second, listening without judgment, showing up for school events even when sidelined, remaining a constant even when everything else felt unstable. He wasn't just fighting for time. He was fighting for trust, one moment at a time. 5. When necessary, involve the court. After documenting enough violations, Alex worked with his attorney to file for modifications, not out of anger, but out of duty to his daughter's emotional safety. Standing before the judge months later, Alex presented his story, not in desperate speeches, not in angry outbursts, but in pages of calm, factual evidence, a timeline of commitment that no smear campaign could erase. And for the first time, the court saw through the fog, because Alex had never abandoned his role. He had protected it, quietly, relentlessly, and with dignity. Narcissists will bend rules, twist reality, and manipulate perception. But you will remain the constant. Court orders can be ignored, lies can spread, but consistency writes the final story. Keep showing up, keep documenting, keep loving without expectation or fear. Because when the chaos fades and the truth finally shines through your child and the world, will see exactly who you always were. The safe place, the steady hand, the parent who never gave up.
Thank you for viewing Parental Alienation, Sleight of Mind by J. Claude McDaniel.